We live in a world where change is constant. But here's the truth. Most people don't want more information about change. We're already drowning in motivational quotes, inspirational talks, and surface-level advice. What people really crave is not more theory, but actual transformation. And transformation begins with change. The question is not whether change will come. The question is, how will you meet it? Ilara, a sculptor of quiet fame, felt trapped in her own mastery. Her studio, once alive with passion, now suffocated her. The clay, once pliant, resisted her touch. She had everything: talent, tools, recognition, yet her art felt lifeless. One day she noticed a cocoon in her garden. Later she saw it broken open, and a butterfly emerged. Ilara realized the creature had not fought its change. It surrendered. It became more itself, not less. That day, Ilara returned to her clay differently. She let it collapse, crack, and shift. From destruction came creation. That was the moment she stopped resisting and started living the truth of change. Here's what most people miss. Growth is impossible without change. You can't cling to who you were yesterday and expect to arrive at tomorrow's version of yourself. Change is not optional. It's the foundation. Think about it. No seed grows without breaking. No butterfly emerges without tearing through its cocoon. No person rises without letting go of their old skin. Growth asks us to shed what is outdated, to leave behind what once served us but now holds us back. The reason change feels uncomfortable is because it demands a rebirth. And every rebirth comes with labor pains. Yet the pain of refusing change is far greater. It is the quiet suffocation of staying stuck. Real growth is not about adding more to your life, but about allowing change to strip away what no longer belongs so that your truest self can finally come alive. We resist change because it exposes our lack of control. Control feels safe, predictable, even comforting. But the truth is, clinging to control is like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. We build routines, identities, and expectations around the illusion of stability. But life is never static. A sudden phone call, a health scare, a shifting opportunity, change arrives whether we are ready or not. The more we try to lock life in a box, the more it bursts open. What if you stopped fighting for control and trusted the flow of change? What if every ending wasn't a loss, but a doorway? When you release control, you don't fall into chaos. You fall into alignment. Change doesn't demand that you abandon your life, only that you loosen your grip enough to live it more fully. Why do we sabotage ourselves? Because change feels like death to the old self. Even when the old ways suffocate us, we cling because they are familiar. Familiarity masquerades as safety, even when it quietly kills us. It's like wearing a worn-out coat. It no longer warms you, but you refuse to throw it away because it once comforted you. That's the prison of resisting change. We convince ourselves that staying the same is easier, when in truth it only deepens our suffering. To resist change is to resist life. And yet, the moment we allow ourselves to step beyond what is familiar, new energy floods in. Courage is born, creativity awakens, and possibilities expand. The comfort zone feels safe, but it is never where life truly begins. Every major turning point, every great transformation starts the moment we stop resisting change. A butterfly doesn't negotiate with its cocoon. It doesn't say, "Let me keep one wing as a caterpillar." It surrenders completely. That's what makes it free. When you allow change to work within you, you don't become someone else. You become more of who you were always meant to be. The cocoon stage, uncomfortable as it is not wasted time. It is sacred preparation. Without it, the butterfly could never exist. So too with us. We often see periods of waiting, loss, or uncertainty as setbacks. In truth, they are cocoons, hidden chambers where transformation brews. When you surrender to change, you let the old dissolve so the new can emerge. The butterfly is not ashamed of its caterpillar self. It honors the journey. Likewise, you are not betraying your past by embracing change. You are fulfilling it. Too often we see change as punishment, a breakup, a loss, a job ending. It feels like the universe is against us. But what if it's a lesson? What if it's life pulling you toward your next chapter? Every ending teaches. Every shift carries wisdom. The heartbreak that taught you self-worth, the job loss that pushed you toward purpose, the failure that sharpened your resilience. All of these were teachers wearing the mask of change. Change is not here to break you. It is here to educate you in ways success never could. We don't grow when everything is easy. We grow when change stretches us, challenges us, and reshapes us. The question is not, why is this happening to me? But what is this change trying to teach me? When you adopt this perspective, life ceases to feel like punishment and begins to feel like partnership. Fear, grief, and uncertainty block us from change. The secret is not to push them away, but to move through them. Cry if you must, grieve what is gone, but don't let the weight of emotion chain you to the past. Every emotion, when felt fully, clears space for the new. Fear shows you what matters most. Grief reveals the depth of your love. Anger can point to where your boundaries were crossed. These emotions are not barriers. They are signals guiding you through change. Suppressing them only delays the process. Allowing them to move through you gives way to healing. Imagine emotions as rivers. When you dam them up, they stagnate. When you let them flow, they nourish the soil for new growth. Feel, release, and step forward. This is the emotional alchemy of change. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the fuel for change. Ilara felt the pain of stagnation. That ache pushed her to seek. Pain cracks open the shell of comfort, forcing growth. Without pain, we stay asleep. With pain, we awaken. Pain is often misunderstood as punishment, but in truth, it is a compass. It shows you where you are not aligned, where something must shift. The pain of isolation drives us to connect. The pain of failure drives us to improve. The pain of longing drives us to dream bigger. If you numb pain, you also numb the call to change. But if you listen to it, pain becomes your teacher, your motivator, and your guide. The question is not how to avoid pain, but how to let it redirect you toward change that heals, grows, and frees you. Change doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. It starts with small steps, choosing honesty over silence, courage over fear, growth over comfort. Those small choices compound into transformation. The caterpillar doesn't understand what's happening inside the cocoon. It just surrenders. You won't always see the outcome of change while you're in it. That's why trust is essential. Trust that life is not breaking you, but remaking you. Relationships demand change. The moment we stop growing together, distance forms. To love is to evolve. To commit is to constantly rediscover each other. Without change, love stagnates. With change, it deepens. Letting go is the hardest part of change, but freedom always lies on the other side of release. Ilara let go of her rigid style, and creation returned to her. You too must release people, habits, beliefs, so that something new can enter. Change will break you. That's its nature. But brokenness is not the end. It's the doorway. Flowers bloom in broken soil. Light enters through broken cracks. You're not ruined, you're being remade. Fear tells us change is dangerous. Courage whispers it's necessary. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the choice to move anyway. Every leap into change is proof you're alive. Ilara's journey is our own. Life will hand you cocoons of stagnation, moments where everything feels lifeless. But inside those cocoons lies the promise of wings. Change is not your enemy. It is your birthright. It doesn't erase you. It reveals you. The only question left is, will you resist it? Or will you finally allow yourself to become who you were meant to be?